Hello YouTube land. I decided to make a third video. I didn't say on the second video that I was going to make a third video, but I decided to make a third video just to prove that how I have all three Wi-Fi's in my house fully functional and it doesn't conflict with each other predicated on three different IP addresses. I have three Wi-Fi's. I will show you. This links here is the primary Wi-Fi that I have. That's one. This is the second Wi-Fi that I have. This is one of the old ones that I have. I was about to discard, but I kept it. That's number two. And this is the third Wi-Fi that I was about to discard, but I kept it. The way how I hooked it up, I hooked it up through a lot of internet couplers and a lot of Ethernet cords. So you have to see the previous videos to see how I hooked it up. I decided to do a third one just to prove the validity how this Wi-Fi, on my son's computer. I have two computers. I have one here, one here. This is my room computer, and my son's room. But I'm gonna use my son for example because my computer in my room and my son's computer both works the same way. Just to prove that how the Wi-Fi in my room is fully functional. This is my son's room. My room was on the other end. This is where you could say the Wi-Fi is probably at. But right now it's working 100%. I'm gonna prove it to you. Alright, now you see Trinet. I'm using this wireless adapter here. I got it taped up because I didn't want little kids to like snatch it off and what have you. When company comes in the house, go in my son's room, they'll take it. But I got it taped up though. That explains why I have the tape. Let me show you, for example. Okay, now the Trinet is working on my son's computer. This is the wireless adapter that I'm using right now. It's at 100%. 100%. Now you see this one here? That's the wireless. That's the Wi-Fi is on, and it's working for my room. The Trinet 652. And now you see this right here. That's the internet cable that is behind my son's computer that is working. See that light flashing? Is a blue cord. The cord is right here. It's going into my son's room because I have a sub router underneath my bedroom, and it's running all in my son's room. Right here. The wire is right here. Right behind the library, and voila, it's working in my son's room. So like in my room and as well as his room, I'm just using his room for example, that is working so well. So he got both powers, the powers of the wireless internet connection as well as the LAN, the LAN area network is working. It's all coming from the primary router, the links in my room, because how I got the wires hooked up. You got to see part 1 and 2 how I hook up the wires. Alright, so I'm gonna prove an example that is working. And mind you, I didn't do how these advanced techies will do, to go online and go to this website to change the subnet. All I did was basically hook up the uplinks on both old routers by using the primary router that I have, with the sub router in the living room and the sub router in my son's room. I'm gonna prove that it's working real good, both, and no buffering. I'm gonna go to Netflix. Alright, see, it's working. The internet is working both well. Alright. Alright. I have to sign in. Let me pause this for a minute. Alright, so here's the Netflix. All these different profiles. I'm gonna use my son Israel Lee. He loves watching kitty stuff. I was watching the living room on Turbo with my son Israel, and he loves this movie. So I'm gonna click this just to prove a point that the TrendNet operating on a standalone IP address. Look at this. The speed is like crazy. Voila. I got the volume on low. Let's pump up the volume, shall we? No buffering, baby. See, it's working. Where's the buffer? Where's the buffer in this? It's possible that you can use all Wi-Fi's as like extenders, but you have to see the previous videos how, like I said, how I hook up the wires, you know, and you'll get a general sense of how you can make it work. You don't have to do all the fancy stuff that you see, all the videos that you see. Although they were great, I respect them, you know, who know how to use the sublinks. See, here's the volume here. My son got best of the both worlds. Look at that. Just to show you that it's working. Voila. Boom. 3 Wi-Fis. You can use your old Wi-Fis as extenders. Just do like me. Hook up the wires the way how I showed on the previous videos. And you can have Wi-Fi out the house. I may not be advanced like the other YouTube videos where they show how you go on this website, you know, you get the IP addresses of the old wireless routers. You can do the way how I show it, how I did it, and it's working real good, baby. 100% real good. And the TrendNet is operating on its own individual IP address. I'm gonna show you. It's fully functional. Everything is hooked up to the uplink. Notice I don't have the other ports hooked up. It's on the uplink. Say uplink. Uplink. Right? And it's working standalone. Because I got a wireless router down below. This is hooked up to port number 1. I have a sub router down below. And the computer is hooked up in my room and port number 2, and port number 3, the wire that is exiting from this room outside the hallway, which is this one here, is the gray wire, not the blue one. This blue one is hooked up to the uplink of the sub router, the uplink of the sub router that is underneath my bed. Like I said, this sub router has four ports. So this one is hooked up to the uplink, and this one is hooked up to port number 3. The computer in my room is hooked up to port number 2, and the Trinet is hooked up to port number 1. Let's see. Port number 3 is it's right here, coming from the door, right here behind the library. Now all into my son's room. It's working, baby. It's working. So I decided to do part 3 just to show you that, you know, my son is satisfied that he could look at his Netflix now in his room. It's working real good. No bufferings. So this is the how-to for all things making old Wi-Fi's as Wi-Fi extenders without doing all the fancy subnet changing IP address. Matter of fact, I can't do that anyway because the way how I hooked it, you know, I can't get the IP addresses from the D-Link as well as the Trinet now that the primary Wi-Fi is the primary one that is fully functioning. All I did was hooked up the red one going behind the sub router. You can say the sub router is both red and gray. It's part in the darkness. The gray sublink right here. Just to give it a little light here. Yeah, you can say it's red and gray because I have I got the internet couplers to connect both red and gray wires because the red one is kind of short. So like I said, this one is going all throughout the house. The gray one here is going through all throughout the house, and the red one is hooked up to the uplink of this Trinet here. Notice there's no other ports hooked up, just the uplink. So it's all about uplink. That's the hot ticker. Uplink. And you can have your Wi-Fi. You can have this as an open Wi-Fi when guest comes over. It doesn't slow down your bandwidth. If guest comes over and use this and what have you, it doesn't slow down your bandwidth. Just like it doesn't slow down in my room. Like this wireless router. It's not hooked up to any ports but the uplink. It's all about uplink hookup. It's all about uplink hookup. That's my quick tutorial for you, just to prove that it actually literally works in my room as well as my son's room. Here it is. It's still working in my son's room.
Heads up, Shell Crusher, 2 o'clock.
Because now it's picking up my Trinet 692. 100%. That's why I don't have any buffering. No internet issues.
We've been over this. I don't talk and roll.
Put it on full screen. With all Wi-Fi, with all computer hookups, it has its little problems, but I just want to prove to you that it works. Go back to resume. Don't worry, it'll be back up quickly in no time. Voila. See how fast? I was trying to... Here it is. Put on full version. Alright, that was a quick third video. Press exit.